Okay, February 23rd, Leviticus 14, 1 through 57. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, This shall be the law of the leper for the day of the cleansing. He shall be brought to the priest, and the priest shall go out to the camp, and the priest shall examine him. And indeed, if the leprosy has healed the leper, then the priest shall command to take it for him who is to be clean, two living and two clean birds, cedar wood, scarlet, and hyssop. And the priest shall command the one of the birds to be killed in the earthen vessel over running water. As the living bird, he shall take it and the cedar wood and the scarlet and the hyssop, dip them in dip them and the living bird in blood of the bird that was killed over running water, and he shall sprinkle it 7 times on him who has been cleansed from the leprosy, and shall pronounce him clean, and let the living bird loose in the open field. He who is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, shave off his hair, wash himself with water, that he may be clean. After that, he will come into the camp and shall stay outside of his tent 7 days. But on the seventh day he shall shave all his hair off his head, and his beard and his eyebrows. All of his hair he has to shave off. He shall wash his clothes and wash his body in water, and he shall be clean. On the 8th day he shall take 2 male lambs without blemish, one ewe lamb of the first year without blemish, 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, and 1 log of oil. Then the priest who makes him clean shall present the man who is to be made clean and those things before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. And the priest shall take 1 male lamb and offer it as a trespass offering, and the log of oil, and wave them as a wave offering before the Lord. Then he shall kill the lamb in the place where he kills the sin offering and the burnt offering in the holy place as a sin offering. And for as the sin offering is the priest, so it is the trespass offering. It is most holy. The priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it on the tip of the right ear of him who has been cleansed, and the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil, pour it into the palm of his own left hand. Then the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is on his left hand, and sprinkle some of the oil with his fingers 7 times before the Lord. And the rest of the oil in his hand, the priest shall put on some on the tip of the right ear of him who has been cleaned, and on the thumb of the right hand, and on the big toe of the right foot, on the blood of the trespass offering. The rest of the oil that is in the priest's hands he shall put in on the head of him who has been cleaned, so that the priest shall make atonement for him before the Lord. Then the priest shall offer the sin offering and make atonement for him who is to be cleansed and from his uncleanliness. Afterwards he shall kill the burnt offering, and the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the grain offering on the altar. So the priest shall make atonement for him, and he shall be clean. But if he is poor and cannot afford it, then he shall take 1 male lamb as a trespass offering to be waved, to make atonement for him, 1/10 of an ephah of flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to afford. One shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. He shall bring them to the priest on the 8th day for his cleansing, to the door of the tabernacle of meeting before the Lord. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering and the log of the oil, and the priest shall who were with them as a wave offering before the Lord. Then he shall kill the lamb on the trespass offering, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering and put it on the tip of the right ear of him who has been cleansed, on the thumb of the right hand, and on the big toe of the right foot. And the priest shall pour some of the oil into the palm of his own left hand. Then the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before the Lord. And the priest shall put some of the oil that is on his hand on the tip of the right ear of him who has been cleansed, on the thumb of the right hand, and on the big toe of the right foot, and place the blood of the trespass offering. The rest of the oil that is on the priest's hands he shall put on the head of him who has been cleansed, to make atonement for him before the Lord. And he shall offer one of the turtle doves or one young pigeon, such as he can afford, such as he is able to afford, the one as a sin offering, and the other as a burnt offering with a grain offering. So the priest shall make atonement for him who has been cleansed before the Lord. This is a law for him who has leprosy, a leprous sore, who cannot afford the usual cleansing. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, when you have come into the land of Canaan, which I have given you as a possession, and I put the leprous plague in the house of the land of your possession, and he who owns the house comes and tells the priest, saying, it seems that there is some plague in the house, then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest goes into it to examine the plague. All that is in the house may not be made unclean. And afterwards a priest shall go and examine the house, and he shall examine the plague. And indeed, if the plague is on the walls of the house, which is in grained streaks or greenish or reddish, which appears to be deep in the wall, then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house and shut up the house 7 days. And the priest shall come again on the seventh day and look. And indeed, if the plague has spread on the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away the stones in which is the plague, and they shall cast them into an unclean place outside the city. And he shall cause the house to be scraped inside all around, and the dust that they scrape off shall pour out the unclean place outside the city. Then they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take the other mortar and the plaster the house. Now, if the plague comes back and breaks out in the house after he has taken away the stones, after he scraped the house, and after it has been plastered, then the priest shall come and look. And indeed, if the plague has spread in the house, it is an active leprosy in the house. It is unclean. And he shall break down the house, its stones, its timbers, and all the plaster in the house, and he shall carry them outside the city into an unclean place. Moreover, when he goes into the house at all while it is shut up, shall be unclean until evening. And he who lies down in the house shall wash his clothes, and he who eats in the house shall wash his clothes. But the priest, but if the priest comes in and examines it, and indeed the plague has not spread in the house, after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. And he shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds, cedar wood, scarlet, and hyssop. Then he shall kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. And he shall take the cedar wood, the hyssop, the scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird and the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and the running water, and the living bird, and the cedar wood, the hyssop, and the scarlet. Then he shall let the living bird loose outside the camp and in the open field, and make atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. This is a law for any leprous sore and scale, for the leprosy of the garment and the house, for the swelling and the scab and the right spot, to teach when it is unclean and when it is clean. This is the law of leprosy. Mark 6:30-56. Then the apostles gathered to Jesus and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. And he said to them, come aside by yourselves into a deserted place and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, then they did not even have time to eat. So they departed into a deserted place in a boat by themselves. But the multitude saw them departing, and many knew him and ran there on foot from all the cities. They arrived there before them and came together to him. And Jesus, when he got out, saw the great multitude and was moved with compassion for them, because they were like sheep not having a shepherd. So he began to teach them many things. When the day was now far spent, his disciples came to him and said, this is a deserted place, and already the hour is late. Send them away that they may go into the surrounding country and villages and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. But Jesus answered and said to them, you give them something to eat. And when they said to him, shall we go and buy 200 denarii worth of bread and give them something to eat? But he said to them, how many loaves do you have here? Go and see. And when they found out, they said 5 and 2 fish. Then he commanded them to make all them sit down in groups on the green grass. So they sat down in ranks, in hundreds and fifties, And when he had taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven, blessed and broke the loaves, and gave them to his disciples to set before them, and the 2 fish. He divided them among them all. So they ate and were filled, and they took up 12 baskets full of fragments of fish. Now those who had eaten the loaves were about 5,000 men. Immediately he made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side, to Bethsaida, while he sent the multitude away. And when he had sent them away, he departed to the mountain to pray. Now, when evening came, the boat was in the middle of the sea, and he was alone on the land. Then he saw them sitting at rowing, for the wind was against them. Now, about the fourth watch of the night, he came to them walking on the sea, and would have passed them by. And when they saw him walking on the sea, they supposed he was a ghost, and cried out, for they all saw him and were troubled. But immediately he talked with them and said to them, "Be of good cheer, it is I, do not be afraid." Then he went up into the boat. He went up into the boat to them, and the wind ceased, and they were greatly amazed in themselves beyond measure, and marveled, for they had not understood about the loaves, because their heart was hardened. But when they crossed over, they came into the land of the Gershonite, and anchored there. And when they came out of the boat, immediately the people recognized him, ran throughout the whole surrounding region, and began to carry about on beds those who were sick. And whenever they heard he was, wherever they entered, into villages, cities, or country, they laid the sick in the marketplace and begged that he might just touch them that they might just touch the hem of his garment. And as many touched, he made them well. Psalms 41 through 10. This is a Psalm of David. I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined to me and heard my cry. He also brought me up out of a horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon the rock, and established my steps. He has put a new song in my mouth. Praise be to our God. Many will see it and fear, and will trust in the Lord. Blessed is a man who makes the Lord his trust, and does not respect the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Many, O Lord my God, are your wonderful works which you have done, and your heart towards us cannot be recounted to you in order. If I would declare and speak to them, they are more than can be numbered. Sacrifice and offering you did not desire. My ears you have opened. Burnt offering and sin offering you did not require. Then I said, Behold, I come. In the scroll of the book it is written of me. I delight to do your will, O my God, and your law is within my heart. I have proclaimed the good news of righteousness in the great assembly. Indeed, I do not restrain my lips, O Lord. You know yourself. You yourself know. I have not hidden your righteousness within my heart. I have declined. I have declined your faithfulness. Oh, I'm sorry. I have declared your faithfulness and your salvation. I have not concealed your loving kindness and your truth from the great assembly. Wow, that's I see a lot of Christ in there. A lot of prophecy. I don't know if I've ever seen before. Where he says, um, "Sacrifice and offering you did not desire," and I think Jesus quoted that to the Pharisees. He says, "My ears you have opened." 'Cause Jesus always said, let him who have ears, let him hear. Burnt offering and sin offering you did not require. For us to be saved, we're not required to have a sin offering or a burnt offering, like the Old Testament says, because we had one sacrifice, and that is Christ Himself. Then I said, "Behold, I come. In the scroll of the book, it is written of me." And Jesus told the Pharisees, and he says, "Moses wrote about me, and you don't see me." I delight to do your will, oh my God, and your law is within my heart. Jesus is the only man who's ever walked on this earth who's been sin free and had no sin. I have proclaimed the good news of righteousness, which is what we just read, to a great assembly. All the people followed him. We just read that. They just followed him all over and came to him. Indeed, I do not restrain my lips. O Lord, you yourself know I have not hidden your righteousness within my heart. Jesus proclaimed the good news and told them all. I have declared your faithfulness and your salvation. Our salvation is through Christ and Christ alone. I have not concealed your loving kindness and your truth. There's nothing we could do to ever earn salvation. And there's no more loving kindness than that. And the truth is simple. Jesus came to the earth. God came in the form of Jesus, lived a perfect life, and died for us because we couldn't do it. From the great assembly, which is all of us, the world. Wow, I've never seen that before. Not- Proverbs 10:11-12. The mouth of the righteous is a well of life, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all sin. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow.